and broadcast.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Explore SDSU. We are offering it second time this year based on the responses that we received the first time. My name is Eugene Olevsky, and I'm the Dean of the College of Engineering at San Diego State University. I would like to introduce also our college leadership team, including Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Studies, Professor Garoma, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies, Professor Ostrich, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, Garcia, our distinguished department chairs, Professor Abraham from Mechanical Engineering, Professor Liu from Aerospace Engineering, Professor Mi from Electrical and Computer Engineering, Professor Supernak from Civil Construction and Environmental Engineering, also our student coordinator, Mr. Geiger, college IT lead, Mr. Nguyen, and assistant to the dean, Ms. Moriher. Before we get started today, let me first thank you for joining us at what I know is a difficult time. Here in California and certainly elsewhere in the United States and actually around the world, we recognize that many of you are sheltering at home. And let me just say that at times like this, we very much appreciate your commitment to learning and to continuing to forge your academic path. Many of you are wondering what your education will look like in these extraordinary and challenging times. While the answer is still evolving, I can tell you one thing for certain. The strengths of an institution of higher learning like San Diego State University and the value of the education that you will receive can and will endure any storm. We will all need to adapt, but the core values of San Diego State University and the fundamental quality of the engineering program will remain unchanged. We must look toward the future and prepare to meet it. In many ways, engineers have the task of building a better tomorrow. You can set yourself on no better course, and there is no better place to begin than SDSU. Today, we're excited to share with you the details of the stellar education you will receive at our College of Engineering, which I know you will all find intellectually rigorous and immensely rewarding. So to start, let me offer some remarks about our college as a whole, following which you will hear from 4 of our distinguished department chairs who will tell you more about some of the specializations that we offer. And you can see the respective links to the breakout sessions also in the chat right now. So welcome to Explore SDSU. First of all, let me comment on the overall vision of our college. We educate a diverse group of students to become engineering innovators, and we contribute to the technical knowledge of society at large. Our mission includes the following important goals: recognize human and societal needs, design innovative, sustainable engineering solutions, embrace an international perspective, and also create value through entrepreneurial efforts. A little bit of the statistical data, which is very telling about the enterprise, educational enterprise that we are running here at the College of Engineering. We have almost 4,000 strong in terms of the student count. Our undergraduate enrollment, as you can see, exceeded last fall 3,700 students, with almost 20% of them being female students. And as you can see, for graduate enrollment, almost 30% of our students are female. We granted 736 degrees, bachelor degrees, during the last academic year, and we offer 21 undergraduate and graduate degree programs. Our bachelor degrees that we offer include aerospace, civil, computer, construction, electrical, environmental, mechanical engineering, and also mechanical engineering with bioengineering emphasis. At the master level, we, as you can see, offer 9 degrees. Those include aerospace, bio, civil, electrical, computer, environmental, mechanical, and structural engineering, and also a very interesting program of Master of Engineering, which includes 60% of classes which are supposed to be taken at our College of Engineering and 40% at the College of Business. We also offer 4 doctoral programs in collaboration with the University of California, San Diego. Those include aerospace and mechanical engineering, bioengineering, electrical and computer engineering, and structural engineering. The enrollment in these doctoral programs rapidly grows. Just last year, we almost doubled the number of our doctoral students. This is a very interesting plot which shows the comparative picture regarding the sponsored program award dollars across different CSU California State Universities. As you probably know, we have 23 campuses, 23 universities embedded in the California State University system. And as you can see, San Diego State University is really a flagship university in terms of our research productivity. SDSU is ranked number 60 among US top public universities by US News World Report, and also we're number 1 nationally in terms of the graduation rate performance. Every year, as you can see, we keep granting more and more engineering bachelor degrees. 3 of our departments are among 25 top United States engineering departments in terms of the generation of the engineering workforce. Our research awards, they really tripled in the recent years, which is also one of the indications of the growth and cultural shift, actually, which happens in our college. More than 50% of our faculty are research active faculty who were hired during the last 5 years. This picture shows the out-of-state student reception in Seattle, state of Washington, which really indicates that it's a very inspiring destination, San Diego State University, and in particular, our College of Engineering. And it's inspiring not only for the local residents of San Diego County, but as you can see across the nation and also abroad. 14% of our students are foreign students, and as you can see, there are many out-of-state students who would like to join our college. Speaking about the distinctive features of our undergraduate programs, we offer a high quality education at really affordable cost. The college ranks high in the nation among the top colleges for the so-called engineering, in the area of engineering, for the so-called return on investment, ROI. We provide also a unique opportunity for students to learn about the cutting edge technology through coursework and multiple projects. A collegial environment that fosters scholarship, achievement, professional growth, and personal excellence is also a distinctive and distinguishing feature of our undergraduate program. We offer opportunities for undergraduate research in the really top of the notch scientific areas and also areas of engineering with professors of international reputation. The large number and range of professional electives in our college, they allow students to tailor their studies to their own career interests. And as an outcome of the education that we offer, our students, they really have excellent employment opportunities. Many seniors have at least one job offer before graduation, and in fact, more than 60% of our students they obtain their employment in San Diego and San Diego County, here locally. Our strategic plan, it includes three main directions. We have goals related to the student success, strategic goals related to research and creative endeavors, and also goals in the area of community and communication. And I will briefly comment on all these three strategic areas of our activities. In terms of student success, of course, we intend to reduce our student to faculty ratio. And because of that, we are hiring many faculty. As I mentioned, more than 50% of our professoriate has been hired during the last 5 years. We provide more scholarships to our students, and what is also very famous locally and actually also nationally is the hands-on nature of our curriculum. We create more industry-sponsored projects, and our senior design project, they are supported by numerous industrial companies which are supporting these projects both in terms of in-kind donations, financially, and also intellectually. They advise the projects and also serve as judges for our senior design project final reports. Numerous, of course, opportunities exist for student engagement, both in extracurricular activities and also research. And I also want to comment in particular on the newly established Center for Student Success in Engineering. So in fact, the Student Center for Success in Engineering, it supervises, of course, the advising and tutoring, but also it quite actively engages student clubs. Here you can see the recent achievement, the world record by our Rocket Club. The slide shows two videos, two synchronized videos. One is taken from the ground, as you can see at the right-hand side, and the left one corresponds to the GoPro image that was the camera which was attached to really the rocket itself. And that was the world record for the liquid fuel rockets with dual cryogenic student design bipropellant schematics. And as you can see, this rocket reached a maximum height of more than 13,000 feet. So as I mentioned before, the Center for Student Success, it actually includes a comprehensive structure. It is led by our assistant dean, Garcia, and also it includes the full-time student center coordinator, as well as the full-time internship coordinator, which provides the links to the industrial companies offering internships, industrial internships to our students. The second strategic area, as I mentioned before, research and creative endeavors. We recruit and retain outstanding faculty, and we also provide opportunities for undergraduate students to participate in multiple research projects. The third area of our activities includes community and communication, and here on this slide you see the information about several of our outreach, very important programs. The first is MESA program, which is supporting underrepresented minority students, but not only students from these groups. It actually provides the tutoring and advising for our entire student population. Troops to Engineers, they support our veteran students. We have quite a substantial number of these kind of students in our veterans, in our college, and also in general in San Diego State University. And of course, the internships, as I mentioned before, we have this strategic location of our full-time internship coordinator also in the Student Success Center. We also offer multiple study abroads. More than 50 programs offer different opportunities in different countries across the world for engineering students. This is a very important addition to our infrastructure, the so-called Engineering Interdisciplinary Sciences Complex. That's a pretty much brand new complex of buildings which advances us in all three of our strategic priorities. This complex of buildings is a home to bioengineering, wearable devices research lab, creative design studio, energy research lab, nanofabrication lab, and very comprehensive clean room, and also to our entrepreneurship and innovation centers, which engage students, which pursue activities and also in creating their own companies in collaboration with our faculty. Here I would like to share with you a video which demonstrates the impression of one of our former students. She graduated from aerospace engineering, and this will be the video which will actually will demonstrate her first-hand impressions about our program.
Our century is going to Mars, whereas my parents got to go to the moon. Hi, my name's Anna Marino. I'm a fourth year majoring in aerospace engineering with a minor in business management. I'm involved with a few clubs on campus, which would be Aztec Baja Racing, Associated Students, Rotaract, Tau Beta Pi, and then a few other engineering organizations. So one of the greatest experiences I've gotten out of SDSU is meeting alumni mentor Jordan Evans. Because of that, I was able to intern at one of the greatest companies of all time, which would be NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And I was able to work on Mars 2020, which is the rover that's going to be going to Mars in 2020. And hopefully that's where my future takes me. My favorite place to study would be the library. That's just where I focus the most. I turn off my phone and, just have my laptop and whatever book I'm reading. And that's just when I crank out the most work. I was rock climbing since I was maybe 3. My dad would just put me in water shoes and a little harness and let me crawl up rocks. So it's my hidden talent.
Okay, so here on this slide, as well as in the chat, you can see the links to the breakout sessions which will be offered by the department chairs. You can see 4 department links, and before going to the breakout sessions, we are available to answer your questions. Actually, 2 our associate deans, Professor Garom and Professor Ostruk, as well as our assistant dean Garcia and our student coordinator Geiger, are available now for your questions. I have noticed that there were quite a few questions in the chat.
Thank you, Dean Olewski, for a great presentation. I just wanted to follow up with stating first that Anna, the student that you saw in the video, is actually now working at JPL, where her mentor also works. So with that, we will start the questions, and we do have one question regarding our joint doctoral program. And Associate Dean Garoma, could you please take that question, please?
Sure. So the question, so let me get to the question. The question states actually, how does the application process for the joint doctoral program with UCSG works? Is it guaranteed with a good grades? So the application process starts actually with identifying a mentor or a graduate advisor at SDSU. Once you identify that, you need to contact that person and check whether your research interest, the faculty's research interests are aligned. When that happens, then the next step is filling out the application. I will post a link in the chat room, details about the application process and the link.
Thank you, Dr. Garoma. The next question I see is, in a previous presentation, the presenter said for STEM majors that there is a pre-cal proficiency exam. And that is true for our engineering majors as well, incoming engineering freshmen. And also the scenario in this question is, I am currently taking Calc AB and have already taken the pre-cal class. The question also states, do I still need to take the proficiency exam if I got an A in pre-cal and if I pass the AP test for Calc AB? The answer is a little complex, but I will try to address it here. Number one, in our catalog, there is a page that shows how AP scores are accepted. In most cases, 4 or better on the Calc AB exam will give you credit in our Calc 1 course. However, it will still require you to take the pre-cal proficiency exam. I know it may not make sense. I know I may or may not agree, but those are our policies. So as you get your AP scores, please contact myself and Donovan, and we will try to walk you through how that applies to you. But in general, the pre-cal proficiency is required for every student wanting to take Calc 1. Yes, that brings another question. If you have satisfied Calc 1 through the Calc AB AP test, then you don't need to take the proficiency exam because you have credit already, and you would most likely go into Calc 2. I hope that makes sense. Again, follow up if you need to with us separately. The next question I see is, when is the earliest time to get an internship and in what year? We don't have our internship coordinator online with us. However, she works in our center under my oversight. A student can gain an internship as early as freshman if he or she has the right skill set for the company hiring. Most of the time it's in after your sophomore year, but in some cases I have seen students get these internships earlier. Those skill sets depend on the major and the company, of course, and for many of you coming in with AP credit, you might likely be ready for an internship earlier than that beginning junior, end of sophomore year. Next question. I was admitted under a pre-engineering major. What are the requirements to meet the major? How long does that usually take? And what GPA is required? This is a great question, as every student declaring engineering pre-major, every student wishing to be an engineering major comes in as a pre-engineering major. And these are the requirements to move from pre to actual major. There will be a set of 6 classes. Usually that involves Calc 1, Calc 2, Physics 1, Physics 2, and then depending on your major, engineering major of choice, it may or may not include Comp E 160, Comp E 270, and chemistry and statics. So again, depending on what your major is, there will be 6 courses, but for every engineering pre-major, you will need to achieve a 2.7 overall in order to move from pre-major to major. Usually that will happen in your 2nd year or at the end of your 2nd year. So it could be as early as the end of your 3rd semester or by the end of your 4th semester. And if you brought in AP credits that count towards those 6 courses, that might be earlier for you. Hopefully we will get to all questions. It seems like we have plenty of time. The next question is there a program where you can work on your BS and MS at the same time, specifically in aerospace? I will begin by saying we have a 4+1 program in the mechanical engineering department. We don't yet have that in any of the other majors. If anyone, any panelists would like to add or correct me, please do so at any time. Is graduating with an emphasis in biomed similar to graduating with a biomed BA degree from another school? Would anyone like to take that question? To the best of my knowledge, similar, yes, exactly. Perhaps there will be different coursework. That's the best I can answer now. For the person who answered that question, please visit the mechanical engineering department section that begins at 11 o'clock today. And the Zoom link will be in the chat box again as we get nearer to our time. What is the recommend, excuse me, I skipped a couple, sorry. I have taken Math 180 and 280 and 281 at Cuyamaca. Would you still have to take pre-calc proficiency? So I am assuming those courses equate to our Calc 1, Calc 2, and Calc 3 at San Diego State. I didn't use course numbers because they are different from school to school. In this case, if you have satisfied Calc 1, you will not need to take the pre-calc proficiency because it is only an exam to get into Calc 1. If you've already satisfied Calc 1, you will not need to take it. Question, how does the mechanical engineering program compare to other schools in the area such as UCSD or USD? Well, if you're asking me, I'm going to say the best, but that's my own opinion. I can't speak to UCSD or USC. I don't know if any of the other panelists.
I probably could kind of take this question. So in fact, our college is very famous locally in terms of the hands-on nature of our engineering programs, and in particular mechanical engineering. We are offering a very broad range of senior design projects, capstone design projects, which really are conducted in most cases in close collaboration with industry partners, and those industry sponsors and partners, they support the projects. The projects in many cases are used as the job placement opportunities. We have a spectacular design day, which actually this year will be held virtually on May 6th, where multiple industry sponsors and also visitors from industry attend the exhibition of these projects and get familiar with individual students. So the hands-on nature of our curriculum, in particular in mechanical engineering, is the distinguishing feature.
Thank you, Dean Olewski. I see a question about best recommended way to explore the engineering fields for freshmen who are still undecided on a specialty. I have several recommendations. One is, as a freshman, there are university seminar courses that a student can take, or an entry-level course in the actual major. These courses are designed to help students to explore the major. Another way is to join a student organization, and we have almost 30 in engineering alone. These organizations have great networks among students as well as connections to local industry, something that Dean Olewski has just mentioned. So this is another way to connect. Some of them have guest speakers, others have tours to local companies when we're back in person and can go on site. And to that end, our MESA program also hosts what's called a Job Shadow Day. Again, if we're back on campus or back in person, we will see, and are making plans to potentially do that virtually if not. So there are many ways that a student can explore the fields, also asking your faculty. Some faculty are working closely with industry or in research, and so it's another way to get involved. Maybe not so much as a freshman, but to explore a time and a lab that you can possibly join with a faculty member. Next question, Donovan, this will be yours if you can. In what year can a student study abroad?
Sure. So study abroad is basically determined by what course prerequisites you've met. We have a lot of great faculty-led programs here in the College of Engineering, going to Germany, Italy, Spain, Panama, Poland, lots of great programs. And again, it's really just a matter of what courses you've met. So theoretically, a freshman in their freshman summer could go if you're coming in with a lot of transfer units, AP scores, or AP units, that sort of thing. But most of our programs are designed for either the sophomore summer or junior summer. We also have standard study abroad, which you can take a semester off or a whole year to study abroad. And again, that's really up to you and your course planning and when you want to fit that in. I do recommend waiting at least until your sophomore year to do standard study abroad. But you can talk to me anytime about that and we can take a look at your schedule and see what fits best.
And just a side note, remember that this is all under normal circumstances, which we hope to be able to resume very soon. Next couple of questions I'm going to combine because they ask regarding AP credit and considerations under current COVID-19 circumstances. The answer is a little complex. We will take lead from our assessment office, who I'm sure is taking lead from either the CSU and or ETS, that's the testing service, nationwide testing service. So for now, I cannot say anything will change. We will make sure incoming students are aware of any changes as they occur, be it on the testing website for San Diego State and or catalog amendments. So I cannot answer with certainty at this moment. We will make sure all students are kept informed. We do thank you for your patience while we are going through this with you. Switching gears now, would it be possible to study a 3+1 program? First, let me correct that we have currently a 4+1 program only in the ME department. But the question goes on to say, would it be possible to study a 3+1 program as well as be part of the Weber's Honors College, which requires studying for a minor in interdisciplinary studies? So absolutely, it is possible to be an engineering major one, be in the Weber's Honors College simultaneously. Yes, we're making accommodations for students in that scenario to be able to have time for minor as required by the Honors College. And then of course, as in our 4+1 program, you would be eligible to still be part of that program as well. So the short answer is yes. Next question. If you have entered as a computer science pre-major, what do you need to switch to aerospace? So our campus, our college does allow students to switch majors. However, you will remain in the major that you applied for. When orientation comes, I recommend you go to the orientation of the major you want to be part of. And then after about third week of September, which is our census date, we will allow students to then switch majors. And it's as easy as a form. What is a little more difficult is getting the signature of the department chair of the major you're going into. And remember, all of our majors are impacted. So it will depend on what major you're looking at. Aerospace should not be much of a problem. With more impacted programs, the nearer you are to completing the impaction, which is what I described earlier, to move from pre-major to major, that's called impaction. As you get closer to achieving that, it'll be more likely for you to change a major into a more impacted engineering program. I hope that makes sense. What is 4+1? Do we still have Dr. Abraham on this call? No. Associate Dean Ozturk, would you like to answer that?
In the 4+1 program, we allow some courses to be counted for both undergraduate and graduate program. Students with a major GPA of, I believe, 3.3 and above will be allowed to opt for a 4+1 program where they can take an additional year of courses and complete a thesis to graduate with a master's degree.
Thank you. I'm going to skip to a design day question. Marcy, I hope you're willing to answer. The question is, can we get more information on design day on 5/6? Will an email be sent to sign up for the online session? Is that something, Marcy, you could answer?
Hi, Teresa. Yes, in the chat panel, I have put a little description of Engineering Design Day, as well as the link to the Engineering Design Day website, where you can actually find all the information, a PDF of the flyer, and then also a link to register for our virtual Design Day event, which again is taking place on May 6th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. In the coming weeks, we will be setting up an individual design day website on each department, which will list all of the projects that will be participating with a Zoom link. It will also have a 5-minute YouTube video link for each project, as well as a link to their project posters. So you can kind of preview everything prior to May 6th and decide where you'd like to go on the day.
Thank you very much, Marcy.
Sure.
Next question, and we have about 5-6 minutes left, which I think we should be able to get to all questions currently had been asked. So next one, our dean mentioned earlier about hands-on teaching that's available to juniors and seniors. The question is, what about freshman students? And so to that, I would like to share, our program is known for being hands-on, even at the freshman level. You will be able to, depending on your major, get involved in 3D modeling type courses, and you do that as a freshman. As well as I mentioned, the student organizations, they allow students who have no experience to be in the clubs and also have hands-on experience. Would anyone like to add to that, or can I move on to, the last thing I'll say though is as students near the senior design project it's their capstone for graduation, we're not just going to throw you into that after having no experience from freshman to junior year so that you all of a sudden have to do this team project. No, all along the way from freshman level and up, you will be working in some teams in certain labs, lab classes that you'll have to be required to take. So you're going to have experience even as early on as a freshman.
I think I can add a bit on this one. You know, when we say hands-on experience, it also involves research. You know, a lot of our undergrad students, you know, starting in a freshman, they are involved in research. They do work with our faculty, and in fact, that will also open a door for them to, you know, further their study at the graduate level. So hands-on involves research, industrial experience, and involving in student clubs as well.
Thank you. And just a little follow-up to an earlier question. When is the latest that a student could decide to do a 4+1 program? I believe it would be in your junior year. However, it's really more so of a unit total. So please, for whoever asked that question, attend the ME department section that follows, because the only program we currently have, this 4+1 program, which is a bachelor's and a master's, is the ME. So please attend that session afterwards. And again, related to this question just came in, can you do your undergraduate as aerospace and your master's as mechanical under the 4+1? Under the 4+1, I do not believe it is possible because it's a 4+1 in the same program, in this case, in mechanical engineering. However, you can earn an aerospace undergrad or bachelor's and then join a master's program in mechanical. You can do that, just not as part of our 4+1. I'd like to go back to related, before I go back, I want to answer this related question. Do any of the mechanical engineering with a bioengineering emphasis courses count towards the 4+1? I'm going to say cautiously yes. However, please join the ME department section that follows and begins at 11 o'clock. Going back, someone who asked a question about the AP exams. Sorry you stepped away, but just a brief recap on that question. A 3 is not accepted currently after 2017 exam or exams taken in 2017 or later. It is a 4 score. However, I don't know what accommodations will be made during this time that we are in. We will keep you informed. How difficult is it to fit a minor into 4 years? It is manageable. You just have to be very strategic with how you follow the curriculum. For example, maybe take advantage of a study abroad in the summer, gain 6 units. Besides study abroad in the summer, take summer courses, take other courses in the summer, which is easy to do and recommended to allow you to be able to fit in more high impact experiences like perhaps a minor, perhaps internships, research. So there's a lot of reasons why you'd actually want to strategically manage your curriculum so that it either fits into 4 years or so that you can get these experiences while you're here as a student. I believe we have answered all of the questions that have come through the Q&A. Which is great timing. Is there anything else left that our panel would like to add or any last questions before we end and allow you then a quick break to then join the department sessions? Oh, you are most welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Anything else?
Thank you all the panelists and attendees for all the questions, and you're all welcome to attend our breakout sessions in our 4 departments. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you all.